Good afternoon, OneFootballers, and welcome back to another week of European football power rankings. Now, last week we didn't have any as the international break brings around some pretty boring football, and we don't really want to judge their players and their national team. So we're bringing it back to club football, and 2 weeks on from our last power rankings, we are back again with an incredible eight new entries and an absolute baller in number one spot. Stick with us to check out who it is. In at number 10, it's Paulo Dybala with whatever that kind of celebration is. Anyway, he scored at Old Trafford on Tuesday, and to be honest, he's been in fine form in the Champions League recently. He scored 5 goals in his last 4 appearances, which is the same as his previous 24 in the competition. Juventus may have had a draw at the weekend, but they're still on top form in the league, and they look more than capable of winning the Champions League. So Dybala kicks us off in number 10. In at number 9 is Mauro Icardi. Now, there's no shame in losing to Barcelona, but what he does for Inter Milan on a regular basis is more than worthy for him to be in this top 10. Basically, he scored a winner in the derby at the weekend. For that, he can go straight in there. There is nothing else you need to say but getting one over on your old rivals. Number 9 is Icardi. In at number 8 is someone who bagged 2 goals in the Champions League and got an assist, and if it wasn't for the fact that his team put in a dismal performance at the weekend, he probably would have been higher on this list. And if Roma want to get anywhere near the Champions League semi-finals like they did last season, make no mistake about it, Dzeko will be a central figure to this. In at number 7, and moving up from number 10 2 weeks ago, is the English hero of the moment, Jadon Sancho. He's repping the country abroad and doing a damn fine job at it. In a time when England need a good reputation in the rest of Europe, Jadon Sancho is waving the flag for us. And with another goal, his first in the Champions League, in Dortmund's fantastic victory over Atletico Madrid, he's doing a stellar job and proving that taking the risk of moving abroad is well worth it. Number 6 on this list, and it's Mesut Ozil. Now, I'm not necessarily jumping on the hype of him being one of the best creative midfielders after one performance. He needs to be doing it more consistently. But for those of you who saw Arsenal's game against Leicester on Monday night, he was pretty damn ridiculous. He scored the opening goal for Arsenal and in doing so became the highest German goal scorer in the Premier League before having a fantastic hand in both of Aubameyang's goals. Top quality from the guy. In at number 6. In at number 5 is someone who I think could replace Neymar should that ridiculous transfer to Barcelona go through. Oh, and by the way, I did make a video on that, so why don't you click right here to check that out. But back to the power rankings, and Ángel Di María is in fantastic form. I mean, let's look at the year as a whole. In 36 games, he's got 24 goals and 12 assists, but he also scored a brilliant equaliser against Napoli last night. And to be honest, he's just been in blinding form recently, so he definitely deserves a place on this list. Number 4, and we move to Manchester City, where Captain Fantastic David Silva is just downright ridiculous. He's like a fine wine or a fine cheese. He's just getting better with age, and he capped a fantastic performance with the opening goal against Shakhtar on Tuesday night, a game which saw Pep Guardiola say was the best first half he's ever experienced at Manchester City in just over 2 and a bit years. Phenomenal stuff. First up at number 3 is someone who you wouldn't quite expect to be in there because goal scoring isn't really supposed to be his thing, but in this modern day and age, defenders like Marcelo are blazing the way for defenders to become more like attackers. Someone taking Marcelo's lead is Rafael Guerreiro at Dortmund. We already mentioned how well Sancho played in the 4-0 drubbing of Atletico Madrid, but Guerreiro scored 2. A left-back scored 2 goals in the Champions League against what is supposed to be a stubborn and difficult defence to break down. Massive kudos to him, and he's in at number 3. And now the runner-up for this week in at number 2 is Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Now, we already mentioned how well Arsenal did, and especially Mesut Ozil on Monday night, but the moves would mean nothing if there wasn't someone to finish them off at the end. That is Aubameyang's job, and it's something he's doing fantastically well for Arsenal at the moment. He scored another 2 goals after coming off the bench at the weekend, and it seems like the partnership between him and Lacazette is growing every game. Whether they both start, whether one of them's on the bench, they're still doing the business whenever they're on the pitch, and that's all that matters. So with that said and done, the wait is finally over to reveal this week's number 1. He's back on form, he's back in the goals, and so are his team. It's Mo Salah. He scored 2 goals in their fantastic 4-0 victory against Belgrade, and to be honest, he looks like he's right back in the goals. Although one of them was a penalty, you've still got to stick him away. So for that fantastic performance and for dragging himself out of a slump in form, Mo Salah takes the number 1 spot on this week's European Power Rankings. That's all from me though. Make sure you click here to check out all of the other videos we've got going on OneFootball, and let me know in the comment section below who you would have had as your top 3 this week and who you wouldn't have had at all anywhere near the top 10. Smash the like button, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.